Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. This is Dr. Levi with your show, The Dr. Levi Show. Today is January the 17th, 2017, in beautiful LA. So I hope wherever you are, you're making it a great, amazing, phenomenal, spectacular, magnanimous kind of day. I love those words. I love big adjectives that really talk about the bigness and beauty of life because life is good. So I want you to feel that today. I want you just to take a second, wherever you are, wherever you're listening to us today, to sit and take a breath, just like that, just decompress. Doesn't that feel good? And now, just inside, feel good about you. Love all of you, from the roundness of your hips to the largeness of your nose to the fullness of your lips to the beauty of your body to your height or lack thereof to your eye color. Just love all of you. This month I really want to project that our key themes are about self-acceptance, awareness, and how to reach your goals, not simply resolutions. And let's talk about resolutions also. You know, I'm not a major fan of resolutions, even though I make them sometimes. I think it's better for us to really think about considering, this is just my thoughts and ideology, to consider making thoughts about a better lifestyle. What can I adopt as a lifestyle? So instead of saying I want to be fit for the next few months, because the gyms, they fill, especially here in LA, they fill up from January through March. By the end of March, they're back to where they were the last year until all the new resolution folks come in. Now, I think it's great that they do fill up and that people have resolution that they do come in, that they do work out. And we just talked about fitness. I'll talk about some other goal issues also. But I think it's so imperative that we really consider adopting anything you want to do as a lifestyle. So it can be fitness, it can be a job transition, it could be a relationship, it could be a move from your job. You really want to think about, okay, what can I do as a lifestyle change? Meaning that you want to have a job that you love so much that it's a passion. It's not like a burden to get up and go to work. You want to wake up and say, God, I have my business, I have a job, I love what I do, I'm being of great service to people. Can't wait to get there. You want to feel like that. When I'm operating or coming to the radio station, or I'm going to give a talk somewhere, or I'm going to operate, I am on fire. I really mean it. I feel good about life. I feel good about the opportunity to be of service. And I know that my life is about that. It's about service. It's about excellence. And it's about doing the best that you can for humanity. Because as I do good for my brother or sister, I do good for myself, because we're all a part of other people. So I want you to really think about that. So from resolution to lifestyle adaptation, what can I do as a lifestyle? I want to be fit. I want to have big guns. I want to have a six-pack. Okay, well, do it. And then when you do it, the issue is you have to maintain it. It's not simply about getting fit for the prom or getting fit to go back to show off at a high school reunion. There's no need to show off anything. Just do you. Be the best possible version of you. And guess what? That's enough. You have to show off anything. If you do you, you are enough. You are worthy. You are correct and beautiful just the way you are. I believe that about myself. I want you to believe that about you. I want you to believe that by being born, you have intrinsic worth and beauty and spectacularness. I want you to feel that, because I love feeling, I love talking it, and more importantly, I love becoming it. Oh, one thing I wanted to share with you guys too is I just started reading a book that I absolutely love. It's by the fellow's name is Jakandi, and I think the book. You know what? I'm gonna take it. I want to show it to you. Hold on a second. I'm gonna take a break. I want to show you this. I think I have it with me. Not bring it. You know what? I did not bring the book. I thought I did. You know what? I left it right by the nightstand. I could barely I could barely go to sleep last night because I was reading. It's called if I'm not mistaken, the Little Pocket of Happy Money. And the guy's name is Gikandi, Gikandi. I'm going to ask our engineer to look up the name of that book. Um, but it is so spectacular. I'm highly recommending it. You know, as I've said many times on the show, my favorite book is by James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. I just love that book. There's another book I love too. It's the Seven Habits of Highly Effective People by Covey. I love that book too. But James Allen is my favorite. So the book is entitled "A Happy Pocket Full of Money, Infinite Wealth and Abundance in the Here and Now," and the author is give you the author's name. His name is David Cameron Gikandi. You got to get it. Gikandi. It is fantastic. So I just started that, and most likely I'll be done possibly by tomorrow. I can't stop. So every time I have in between surgeries last night, I was reading it. It's just a great book. So I want to get back on topic to what we were talking about with respect to lifestyles and resolutions. So I want to address something I think is really important. Often resolutions we refer to for fitness, which is great, but still a superficial part of living. I want us to think about having resolutions and lifestyle adaptations about the following: about more kindness. I want us to consider thinking about this. Consider doing one kind act for someone every day. It could be simply a hug, a smile, a compliment, giving someone your parking spot, getting out of the elevator if someone comes in and they're rushing for you to just get out the elevator, let them go up the elevator first, opening a door for someone, calling someone you haven't called to say, hey, you know what, I appreciate you. I've been really busy. I apologize I haven't called you for a while, but I still think about you and I appreciate you and thank you for being a part of my life journey. I think let's think about deeper things than simply fitness. And I love kindness. Kindness can actually bring a smile to someone's face who's in a really dark place. So let's think about being more kind. The next thing I want to talk about, maybe as an attitude adjustment as well as an adaptation for our lifestyle, is gratitude. Again, my favorite word in the entire lexicon of words. I love gratitude. I'm writing the book right now on gratitude, on the power of gratitude, because I feel gratitude is it opens the portal for everything to come in and for everything to become more of what it already is. So think about it. If you're grateful for what you have right now, why would the universe not want to give you more of that because you're so grateful right now? If you're grateful for the beauty of your life right now, why would the universe not want to give you more beauty so you can be even more grateful? So I really want you to consider that. What about compassion? What about adopting that as a lifestyle? What about going to a shelter and volunteering? What about going to a veterans hospital and just saying hello and speaking to people? What about going to a hospital that has a dedicated ward for children who have different forms of cancer? What about going to the county hospital, going to the cancer unit or maybe a HIV unit or AIDS unit and letting people know that you respect and love them and you appreciate their humanity? Because when it comes to many types of diseases like cancer, of course, or HIV or AIDS, many people think, oh, well, that's just treated. It's not a big deal anymore. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a big deal with respect to the people that are treated. It's a big deal with respect to how people who have HIV and hepatitis, how they actually treat it. They're often not treated very well. I have to share a quick story with you. Just recently, I was at a meeting with several physicians, and one of the physicians asked me about one of his patients who had some wrist issues. So I was telling him, I said, well, I suggest the following. So we talked about it. And I said, well, why don't you just send him over to my place? He said, oh, no, I don't want to do that to you because she has no insurance. I said, that's okay. I said, I take care of people without insurance. We'll work something out. Just send her over. And when I saw her, she said to me after we talked, she said, I'm really glad that I was referred to you because I don't want to go back to the other doctor. I said, well, no, you have to go back to him because he's your treating physician for HIV and the other things that you have. She says, no. She said, every time I went there, he would remind me, she said, that one, I had no insurance and that he was doing this as a favor. And two, the way he treated me. And she said, three, which I thought was the most interesting of them, she said, it's the way that he looked at me when he was treating me. She said, he looked at me as if I really didn't matter and that I had no worth. And so I hugged her and I said, well, I don't want you to worry about that. We're gonna get you to another doctor, which my staff and I did. That's easy to do, where she would feel valued and appreciated, but above all of that, that she would be treated like a human being. We all want to be treated as human beings because no one's better than no one else. I've said here on the show many, many times, the doctor is no better than the teacher, the accountant, the engineer, the 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 refuse collector, the the dog walker. It's simply a job of service. And as my mother told me, I can be the doctor today, and she snapped her fingers and she said, you could be the patient tomorrow, Levi. So be careful, son. She said, be careful how you treat everyone. And that was many, many years ago. And now at 35 plus, 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 as my sister would say, I really think we have to really consider that, how we treat other people, and more importantly, how we allow them to treat us. Because people only treat us the way we allow them to. So if someone's raising their voice and not treating me with respect, then I can say, you know what, that's not going to work for me, and then stop it. However, I want people to know, I want all of us to really be in a place of knowing that, love yourself enough to say stop. Love yourself enough to say no. That's what I really like about the Me Too movement, because it's really about people expressing these deep, dark, shadowy sides of people that people were afraid to talk about, but now they feel empowered. Now they feel like, you know what? I can do this. They feel like, you know what? It's time. The time is now. And I think it's fantastic. I really think it's fantastic. So, as someone who is a I'm just a real advocate for women. I'm an advocate for women's rights because I'm an advocate for human rights. I'm an advocate that everyone should be treated equally, should be given equal rights, equal pay. It's a no-brainer. That's not like science there. That's like real easy. Everyone should be treated properly with love, respect, and dignity, no matter who you are, no matter your race, your sex, your sexuality, your gender identity, your binary identity. That doesn't matter. Whatever or whoever you are, you're a human being, and you should be treated with love, care, respect, and with humanity. Period. So I'm asking us all to make a deeper dive into our New Year's resolutions to become less of a resolution and more of a lifestyle by embracing a life of greater compassion, greater kindness, more service. Service is really not that difficult if you think about it. You can go to your church, your synagogue, your temple, and volunteer there. You can go to a shelter to feed people. You can go to a mission to feed and to help and to clean, things that need cleaning. It's just not difficult. A lot of people want to go, to the shelters on Thanksgiving. And it's great that people go on Thanksgiving. I say fantastic. But what about the other 300 plus days of the year that also need volunteers? Not simply Christmas and Thanksgiving and Easter, but there's so many other days of the year that we can really be of service. So I want us to really go to a deeper place and a deeper understanding about service, about love, about compassion, about giving, and really about living a whole life of service. I believe if service as well as gratitude are at the forefront of everything we do, then we can make the world a better place. When it comes to speaking, to speak kindness toward people. As I've said, again, I want to reiterate, when it comes to saying something about someone or even about yourself, before you say it, to ask yourself the question, number one, is it true? Number two, does it have to be said? And number three, is it uplifting? So if it's not true, doesn't have to be said, not uplifting, don't say anything. Just keep it to yourself. As my mother would tell me as I was a kid, I would like try to sometimes tell her these jokes that I thought were like brilliant. I'd tell her jokes and she would say, Levi, honey, the next time you want to tell me a joke, let's try this. Tell it to yourself and just think that you told me. Which I always thought was funny because what she was really saying was, I don't want to hear it. I got children to take care of. I'm a single parent. I don't have time for Levi's BS. And my mother, she's so gracious. She would listen many times, but I'm sure she was like, oh, here he goes again. So shout out to my mom. I love and appreciate her so very much. As well as I want to say also to my sister, Jaylene, who just made a big birthday this past week and had a phenomenal party in Texas. So to Jaylene, happy birthday. I wish I could have been there, but you know what? I'm going to send you a big gift. So when you get that, you'll be like, I'm glad the gift came and I didn't. And you may not say it, but I know you'll be thinking it, Jaylene. So with that said, I really love my family, Dana, Jaylene, my mom. I feel really blessed and fortunate to have such a supportive, loving, phenomenal family. Well, let's continue with the show. Our medical moment today is about observation. So let's talk about this. Just in the news recently, we had a case here in California where a family, a man and a wife, allegedly kept their kids at home shackled and tortured. And this is allegedly. Now, I don't know anything more about it than what's been on the news. And the ages supposedly are from 2 to 29, I think. 13 of them. So, my comment about that is the following. One, it's a very unfortunate event. It's very horrific and sad that this has happened to a family and that people were tortured and treated inappropriately. Horrible. But the other thing I want to say is to the neighbors, be observant. Look at your neighbors. If something looks off, if you see a child who looks emaciated, who looks very, very pale, who doesn't look healthy, then get involved. Say something. Go over, maybe introduce yourself to your neighbors. Say hello and ask them how's everything, and but be aware of your environment. Imagine living next to a home where the parents are there, there are 13 kids there, and they've all been tortured. No one in the whole community saw or suspected anything. Yes, it can happen. Not probable, but definitely possible. So I want our medical moment today is really about awareness. If you have a coworker who comes in and they're always wearing dark glasses and it is not that bright in the office and they won't take their glasses off, and man or woman, you want to ask them, is everything okay? Maybe they've been crying. Maybe they have a black eye. Maybe they have a bruise. You want to be aware of this. If you're a teacher and there's a child who is always to him or herself and doesn't want to interact with other children and seems to be very antisocial, seems to be very withdrawn and not very happy and very sad, well, maybe that child is being neglected at home. Maybe the child is hungry. Maybe the child is being abused or molested. Maybe the child is under severe psychological stress. So I think we all have to really be our brothers and our sisters' keepers. We really do. And how do we do that? Well, by being observant. If you have your eyes, use them. Use them. Watch, look. See what's going on around you. Don't simply be a bystander. Because, for example, when it comes to bullying, there's the bully, there's the bullied, and there's the bystander. Now, all of them have a role in what's going on. So each in its own way, unfortunately. So I'm asking you definitely to not be the bystander. If you see something that looks strange, looks off, looks odd, then say something to that person. Ask them, do they need help? I think sometimes if we just simply ask, can I help you? What's going on? Or do you want to talk about anything? Is everything okay? Just that statement, is everything okay? That opens the door for that person to communicate and say either, yes, everything's fine, why did you ask? And they may say, yes, everything's fine, why did you ask? Maybe break down and cry. Or they may say, thanks for asking, everything's not okay. I need help. I need someone to help me. I'm in a situation that I don't know how to deal with. I'm in a place of severe stress or depression or anxiety um, or abuse, and I don't know what to do. So if you hear that from someone, then you can take action. You can say, you know what? I need to do something to help this person. I need to get off my butt and make a phone call and do something to help this person. So I'm asking all of us, to do something, to be observant, to be an advocate, and to be an activist. So observation, advocacy, and activism. I think we have to do that because we make the world a better place. We keep our neighbors, we keep children, we keep the elderly, we keep them safe. We keep those that have physical or mental disabilities. We can help them, but we have to do something about it. Not simply saying, "Oh, I'm not getting involved," or "Oh, that's their problem," or don't say anything at all. Act like you don't see it. No, we have to do it. I want to share something with you. Last night, I was able to go to one of my CrossFit classes. So I went to the class, and we were doing these line drills across the floor. And right in the center of the floor, someone had left up a can with chalk. So it was just waiting to be pushed over. As you have 20 people in this class. And so when I was tying my shoes, I saw one group go across, and they went around the chalk. And then they came back, and they went around the chalk again. So when I did the drill with them, I tied up my shoes, I did the drill. When I got to the chalk, I just picked it up, and I put it to the side. And one of the ladies in the class said, "Oh, I'm glad you did that, Levi. We was wondering who was going to move that." And I thought to myself, isn't that a crock? Why wouldn't you move it? You saw it like I did. And so I looked at her. I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm glad I did too." She said, "Yeah, because I was going to make a mess everywhere." And I thought, wow. In my mind, I was thinking, that's a true bystander. It was somebody who said, I see there's a problem. I see it could be horrible if it continues, but guess what? I'm just going to look and see if someone else does it. And if they do it, oh, great, fantastic. But me, oh, no. I'm gonna just wait. Not me. I'm not gonna get involved with that. Picking up chalk that might spill everywhere, oh, that's too big a deal. I could not believe it. And then, for myself, I'm always non-confrontational about many things. I just started laughing. And she said, "What's funny, Levi?" I said, I can't even explain it. So I just kept on exercising, like, why explain something that actually does not need an explanation? You see something, you do something. I don't know. So last night, that just, again, showed me the power of the bystander. And don't forget, she wasn't the only one in the class. There were about 19 or 21 other people in the class. So it wasn't like she was the only one, but she was the vocal bystander. But the other ones were what I call the silent bystander. Now, those are the ones I think that are even more frightening because they not only don't acknowledge there's an issue, but they don't even want to talk about there's an issue. It's like you talk about the elephant in the room. That's really like, that's what that's about. So I don't know. I think it's always good to acknowledge and then take action to do something about it. Now, the next part of our show today, I want to talk about the power of focus with respect to not only for this year, but for your life. And that is, what do you do when you have a goal? For example, one of my goals, I'll share it with you this year, is to finish this book that I've been writing now for almost 2 years. So the book is on gratitude, but the goal is to have it done this year. So what I did is I just made a time schedule of how I would write, and no matter what's going on, those are days that I write to get this book done. Now, the beauty of the journey is not simply the end product. The beauty of the journey is going through the journey efficiently and non-judgmentally, but to go through the journey and then more importantly, to get the work, to get the job done. So let's talk about that. So if you have a goal this year, let's say your goal is to finally get married. Let's talk about that. So, because we know a few people here at the studio who are actually thinking about that. So, if you're thinking about getting married, then you want to say, okay, great. I want to get married this year. We've talked about it. So let's have a game plan. So the game plan is, okay, where do we want to get married? How many people do we want there? How much money do we want to spend on the wedding? Are we going to have a prenup? If we're not going to have a prenup, why not? Do we have that discussion about the prenup, or we act like, or bystanders say, oh no, we don't have that conversation. Everybody's going to get upset. Well, why not? It's better to have the conversation now than later. But often people say, well, they don't have anything, I don't have anything, so we don't need a prenup. This is California, where we live here. A prenup is like like saying good morning to somebody if you're going to marry them. Yeah, you sign here, I sign there. I love you, yeah, you love me too. Okay, great, let's sign here too. Period. So it's not clear to me why there's often so much disgruntledness and so much adversarial opposition to a prenup. But I tell you, when I have this conversation with friends, it comes up all the time. So with marriage, you want to go through all those things. You know, do you get a wedding planner? You know, how much is the wedding planner going to cost? You know, usually they're a percentage of how much the entire wedding costs. Where are you going to be? Will it be a destination wedding, be a local wedding? How many people you really want? Do you want to have a justice of the peace marriage and then have a big party later at a different time? I mean, it's so many different things to think about. But my goal here is to say that you want to have a plan. You want to at least have all these things mapped out so that you can actually talk about them so there are not a lot of surprises. But the one thing I tell you, that when there will be surprises, don't talk about them and see what happens. Try that one. Just try it. Let me just get married and let's not talk about anything we're going to do. Trust me, there'll be drama there. You know, and you have to think about this other thing. Well, we have two bank accounts, a joint bank account and now separate accounts. You know, where does all the money go? How do we make investment? Which money do we get out of this? Do we both have ATM cards? Do we have different ATM cards? Do we have different ones? Do we still know each other's number? What do we do about health care? We have our durable power of attorney if something happens to me. We have a will together. We have a joint will. What happens if they get sick? Who makes their final thoughts about how they want to live, how they want to be buried, where they want to be buried? Who pays for that? Do you have insurance? What if the families talk about, do you get buried in this country or another country? All these are things that need to be discussed. If you have kids, which religion do you want them to be? Why? You know, and where do you want to live? How much do you want to spend for a home? Do you want to get a home? Where are you going to work? There's so many questions, you know. So marriage, like life, is not difficult, but there are multiple layers of complexity. But guess what? The layers are less complex when you discuss them, when you talk about them. And you got to think, if you can't have open conversations about the person you say you want to spend your life with, then who can you have open conversations with? You know, so I dare you to be bold in your conversation with the person that you say that you love and that you want to marry and share your life with. I dare you to have this conversation with them. I dare you to talk about a prenup. I dare you to talk about how you want to raise your kids with respect to religion. I dare you to talk about how many kids you really want to have. I dare you to talk about those things. And I dare you because I want you to take up that gauntlet. I want you to take that challenge, and I want you to do something about it. Because I want you to have a life that's really spectacular, not one that's filled with a lot of surprises and drama. Ugh, I can't do it anymore. At 35 plus, drama, I cannot do it. People and things that bring drama in my life, I have to let them go. I have to bless them and say, you know what? It's just not working. It's not working for you. It's not working for me. I want you to win. I want to win. I want us to win, but we can't win together. And that's okay. Then we bless people from a distance, and we ask the universe to keep them healthy and happy and prosperous. And then we ask the universe to keep us healthy, happy, and prosperous. And we keep going on, living a life of service, living to our fullest potential, being great, being phenomenal. That's our birthrights. Those are our birthrights, to be phenomenal and to be happy. They really are. So, I picked marriage because it's just, it's one of many things I could have talked about, but I think it really hits the fact that it's so very complex, everything. It's very, very, very complex. And with that said, all complexity can be titrated into even uh, greater complexity and intensity if it's not spoken about, if you don't talk about these things. That's the key. How do we talk about these issues? You do it with one thing. You talk about them with integrity, with authenticity, with non-judgment, and simple truth. The great thing about the truth, it always stands. The truth is just one thing I love about the truth is that there. I always call it the NWO, the truth. I had one of my good friends and I always tell him, his wife loves this statement. I always talk about NWO, and NWO just means no way out, because when you tell the truth, it blocks people in. It's like, okay, now where do we go? Well, you can't go anywhere. I just blocked you in with the truth, because the truth, what the truth does, it disarms people. It takes away all the falseness. It takes away all the shadows. It's like putting what we call the diva the diva light on somebody, which are these real round lights that we often have in studios. That when you shine that light, it just shows everything. Every freckle, every wrinkle, everything gets exposed. So when I talk about NWO, a friend of mine, we just spoke the other day and we were talking, and he was telling about one of his kids, and he was telling what his kid had. I can share this without saying too much. He was telling what one of his kids recently did at school, which wasn't the best choice. And I told him, I said, well, what did you tell him? And I said, you tell him about the times that you did that also when we were kids. And my buddy said, you know what, Levi, I need to do that. I said, well, yeah. So you have to, put yourself in that NWO too. And he was like, oh, man, don't start with the NWO. Because the NWO, when you give people no way out, when they're boxed into that, the truth will either do one or two things. It will free you or it will entrap you. Think about that. It does one of those two. If you're in a place of truth, you're either freed or it will put you in a box and there's no way out. It's NWO. You are there. No, what I love about the truth is that it gives you a chance to just simply be you, because that is enough. You may think you need to be more, to be thinner, you need to be more intelligent, you need to have more degrees. Actually, you're enough. You're absolutely enough. If someone's telling you, well, you didn't go to high school, you didn't do this, you didn't go to college, you don't have a degree, you don't have to even discuss that. You're enough. There's no need for that. Often people, what I find is that they want to tell you what you don't have so they can tell you what they do have. Or they want to tell you what you don't have to make you feel less than who you already are. But just remember, you're a child of the universe. You're a child of the King. You're a child of the divine. And because of your divinity, you need no validation from any outside source. You are enough. I love when I say that because I remind myself about that also. I remind myself about the great successes I've had in my life and the great challenges I've had in my life, and that through those challenges you find what you're really made of, and you actually find through the challenges that you're enough the way you are. You can't give more than you have. You can't give more than who you are. You just can't do it. Why? Because there's nothing else there to give. It's just, this is it. This mug here, sorry, this is all I got to offer. This is what you get. Like it? Great. Don't like it? I'm okay with that too. It's like, well, God bless you and goodbye. What can you do? It's like, see you later and don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you. That's all you can say, That's life. So I really want us to have this year to be a year of profound gratitude. I want it to be a year of purposeful service to other human beings. I want it to be a year where we go deep into understanding who we really are and to have a purpose for everything we do and to be mindful of this. the tongue. It can be used for great, great, great construction or great, great, great destruction. So be careful how you treat everybody. And remember, people come into your life for a reason, a season, a lesson, or a blessing. And when that has been taught, or you've been blessed and they've blessed you, you know what? Things change. And that's okay. Accept that. That is okay. It's so important to simply be in a state of knowing your own integrity, who you are, whose you are, and where you want to go. That's it. And service has to be key. Now, I want to circle back to, again, reminding you that when you have a goal, make sure you have a list of the things that you want to discuss about that goal. Have a mindset and a focused approach to how you want to achieve it, and then do the work, and then enjoy the manifestation of your work. But don't simply think that you're going to say it once and it's going to just magically appear. Sometimes it does. Yeah, that's for sure. Sometimes we can project things with such focus intensity that they must manifest. Yes, that does happen. However, I want to say it's also important to be aware that if you have a goal and have a game plan of how to get there, and you're willing to do the work honestly, be honest. Be honest with yourself. Do you really want to do this? So that you're aware of what are your goals and what is your purpose. And don't forget, a goal is not a purpose. Okay, those are very different. So your goal is what you want to achieve. Your purpose is why you're here. Very, very different. It's a total dichotomy there. Again, the goal, what you want to achieve, what you want to manifest, what you want to just put out there to be of great service. That's the goal. How do I get there? The purpose, why are you here? Who are you? What are you here to do? How can you serve humanity? I want those to be the focus questions that we really concentrate on for this year. And do it in a way whereby there's no judgment of self and there's no condemnation of self. There's truly, simply self-acceptance, compassion, kindness, and forgiveness. And the great thing there is that if you're more compassionate and kind and loving to yourself, then guess what? That increases your capacity to be more loving, kind, and compassionate to other human beings. Because everybody we see, they're a reflection of us. It's a mirror. We look into that mirror. And we all want to be torchbearers and carriers of the light and not the darkness. The universe has enough of that. Trust me. It's enough of that. So I just wanted to address that. Now, I want to close out the show by addressing something that I've gotten literally hundreds and hundreds of emails about why do I not talk more about politics on this show? Why do I not talk about the president, the Republicans, the Democratic Party, Libertarian Party, the Tea Party? Why do I not talk about Trump? Why do I talk about Trumpism? Because those are very different. Who Trump is and Trumpism, they're very different. Well, I don't talk about them because this is an uplifting show. I've not seen anything in politics that's been uplifting. Nothing. When I say nothing, nothing. So this is a show where we want to infuse our lives with the positive. We want to infuse our lives with gratitude. We want to infuse our lives with levity. So on this show, you will not ever hear me talk about politics or how much disdain I may have for it, because it doesn't fit the modus operandi of why I'm here. It doesn't fit the show. So our show is about love and kindness and self-acceptance. It's not about what we see in politics, which is a total antithesis with respect to misogyny and racism and elitism and classism and racial profile, all the other negatives there. I just can't go there. I just can't do it. I can't. That's why I rarely watch the news because of that. It's too much. So that's That's why we don't do it here. And that's why I won't do it here. And that's why I will never do that here. There's no need. I think if you want your dose of negativity, turn on the news. You'll get it there. You want to feel bad, hit that button. And you get up in the morning, you hit the news, and trust me, you go from feeling phenomenal, you'll feel like the world is coming to an end. So I think the universe, I think the world is always about replenishing itself. I think there's more than enough in the world. I think the world is about more goodness, more love, more compassion, more joy, more kindness, more service, more acceptance. I believe that. Because I believe that, my world, my micro world, as well as my macro world, will reflect that. But if I go to the negative and think of less and the shadow and the negativity of life, then guess what? I'll get that too. But I don't want to get that. My life is so phenomenal and so spectacular. I want to get more of that. So I really advise everyone to do this. One thing I'm doing this year, and I've been quite successful, and I recommend you do it also, is to take a mind, or you could call it a media mental fast twice a week for 2 days, 2 days of the week, I should say. Turn off all social media, turn off my phone for 2 days. And I usually do it on Saturday or Sunday, where I don't have it on. I don't have anything inundating me. No messages, no messages are coming in that are negative, that are forced. I have to cut them out. So I do that, and I think it's just fantastic. And really, I hope everyone takes a media fast this year. I hope you do it. Some people can't do it. I have friends who literally sleep with their phones right by their heads at night, which is not good anyway because of the radiation there and the magnetism there. It's not good for you to have it right there anyway. So I just recommend that everyone, take it down a notch. With respect to politics, you're not going to get it here. Here you're going to get uplifting wonderfulness. That's what we're about here. Even if you got to get it from this mug of mine, you're going to get that. So just put on your glasses, don't look, and listen to my voice. How's that? So I just want to say I appreciate your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Embrace more gratitude, embrace more love. Be of a kinder nature. That's important. And be kinder to other people. Don't be a bystander. Don't be a bystander. And be observant. Be observant in your community. Be observant at the workplace. Be observant in your temples, in your churches, in your synagogues. Look around. See what people are look at people. Say hello to them. Speak to them. Be kind to them. Speak to neighbors that no longer speak to you. Just speak to them anyway. Why not? I speak to my neighbors all the time. I have great neighbors. I have one that's really kooky, but in all of her kookiness, I love it. I love it because it's her, and I accept all of her. So I ask you to accept all of you, accept all of other people without any judgment, any finger pointing. All right? Well, this is Dr. Levi. I really appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of our show. And know and believe that every day will get better and better and better for you. I believe that. Be kind to the veterans. Those women and men are the true heroes of our society, and we have our sustained freedoms because of them. How amazing is that? So be nice to them. Have a great week. I'll see you back next week, and I look forward to getting your questions on social media. Join me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all of them. I'm there, Dr. Levi Harrison. Have a great week, everyone, and I'll see you back in 7 days. Bye.